Hey, what's up, Zoners? Today we're going to be helping each other decide which wide receivers should be in our starting fantasy lineups. That means we've got the top 5 best and the top 5 worst wide receiver cornerback matchups for week 13. We have a bunch of streamers, man, for wide receivers. So if you are in desperate need of wide receivers, this is the show for you. And the number one course on this menu, man, is Veal, all right? The slot wide receiver catching tons of balls. He has an amazing matchup this week. Wide receiver 2, man, for the last 3 weeks. That's going to continue on. Maybe even a wide receiver 1 this week, man. And then we have a wide receiver who's been eating W's, man, with Jameis Winston over there. I keep on betting against him. This is the week to bet against him. It is a revenge game for him, but he is borderline unstartable, just like Jameis Winston, man. Also, we're going to be covering all of the pass funnel defenses for this week. What are pass funnel defenses? They are defenses like my Vikings, man, that sell out to stop the run and give up a ton of yards passing, receiving, so you can start your quarterbacks and wide receivers against these teams. All right, I got a table to help us. I got some notes typed out, but you got to hold on for 7 seconds. You can do it! All right, you're looking at a table from fantasypoints.com. Google it if you want to follow along, man. And first up for the best matchups, Jacksonville slot wide receiver, Parker Washington. We're not going to talk about him because he does not matter until Trevor Lawrence comes back. Next up, man, DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm checking out this route run percentage. This is terrible, man. 55%. Elite is 90%. Pretty good is like 80. Really good is 85. So this is terrible right now. And I just saw a stat, man. He was 4th in route runs for Kansas City last week. I'm not liking any of this, but he has a great matchup. This is going to be a divisional low-scoring game, just like every Kansas City game. But still, the worst right cornerback in the league. So the right quarterback covers the left wide receiver. We're looking at, he is running routes as a left wide receiver most of the time. And this cornerback has given up 0.44 fantasy points per route run. That's the second worst in the NFL, for God's sakes, man. So DeAndre Hopkins, if he's not doing it for you this week, holy shit, man, we have to give up. Maybe, I don't know. Next up, Joshua Palmer, man. You know they're looking for elsewhere other than Quentin Johnson after that last game. So if you're looking for maybe a waiver wire pickup streamer this week, Joshua Palmer, he's running more routes than DeAndre Hopkins. Holy shit, man, but still not enough. 0.29 fantasy points per route run. That is okay. Like I said, or I haven't said this yet, but 0.4 is good. 0.5 is really good. And then 0.6, you're getting to elite. So 0.29, not that great, man. But hey, he gets Atlanta's. Atlanta cornerbacks have sucked this season. And it seems like they're always in shootouts. So Joshua Palmer coming off of that, he had a decent matchup this last game, but still, man, I would think about starting him this week, full PPR flex. And then Sterling Shepard, dude. Sterling Shepard had 7 targets last week. Did you know that? I think that might be more than Cade Otton got. So Sterling Shepard might be that cheap slot wide receiver they've been looking for with Mike Evans back, man. So you got to pay attention to that. 52% routes run. That's for the season. I would throw that out the window. Now with Mike Evans back and Chris Godwin out as well. So he is the slot cornerback, man, 44%. And he gets the second worst slot cornerback in the league, Dane Jackson, giving up 0.44 fantasy points per route run. And he does play in the slot most of the time. So, man, Sterling Shepard, you could do a lot worse than this week. And then next up, man, Tank Dell, 78% route run. We have been waiting for this fool to explode. He's had 1 or 2 good games. Jacksonville is always an amazing matchup. And the way Houston's been playing, it's probably going to be a close game. They're not blowing out anybody right now because they are not playing that well. So Tank Dell should have opportunities throughout the game against Ronald Darby. But yeah, Tank Dell only 0.31 fantasy points per route run. That's not that great. And then Ronald Darby, I want to say Donald Robbie. Hey, he plays one side of the field, and that is where the majority of Tank Dell's routes are run. And he gives up 0.42 fantasy points per route run. So hey, Tank Dell could get a long touchdown or maybe some extra work this week. And then I'm not even talking about Mike Williams, dude. We'll talk about Jameson Williams because that was like a hot topic for trades. And I was like, yeah, dude, you should trade for Jameson Williams. Only 73% routes run. That is not great. I'd like to see that in the 80s, 85. Holy shit, man, he'd be blowing this league up. But that is not the case. Jameson Williams, not running that many routes, but he doesn't need many, all right? And look how he's spread out throughout the field, man. They put him in the slot. They move him around all over the place. 0.46. So we're getting to really good territory here. Really good territory. But he gets Chicago's Tyreek Stevenson. Who had that last week? That was Addison, dude. So he gets that Addison matchup. You saw what happened with Addison. again, last week I was like, this does not make sense. Jalen Johnson's going to be playing against Justin Jefferson. And you saw what happened there, dude. They didn't even try to go towards Justin Jefferson. So Jameson Williams, dude, I'm thinking it's going to be a really good play this week. All right. And then Josh Downs. Who knows what's going to happen to Josh Downs? But hey, route percentage, I think that's probably like 85% if we're looking at the last 4 games. And then, hey, he is the slot wide receiver for Anthony Richardson. I like all that. 0.52 fantasy points per route run. That is very good. That is almost elite there. And he's going against, you saw what New England did. All right. This guy probably gave up all the points. I think he did to Jalen Waddle. So he's getting the Waddle treatment this week. 0.38 fantasy points per route run. That is great for him. And then last up, dude, I'm going to talk about is Devon Veal, man. Veal is on the menu, dog. I'm going to pick him up. I got to decide if I'm going to start him or MVS in my flex this week, full PPR. I'm leaning towards Veal for the higher floor and targets, man. But hey, only 53% route run. That number is probably skyrocketed over the last 3 weeks. He's been a wide receiver too, man, for 3 weeks in a row, 9 targets last week, but double-digit points every single week. He is a slot wide receiver, man. 0.43 fantasy points per route run for a rookie who's not even getting many opportunities, man. So Devon Veal, I'm loving. All right. And then he gets to go against Cleveland slot cornerback Greg Newsome. All of Cleveland's cornerbacks are terrible this year, including my brother from another mother, Denzel Ward. All right. So that sucks for them. And then last up, dude, I keep on saying last, but I want to say, hey, Nick Westbrook might get a touchdown again this week. All right, let's move on to the worst matchups for wide receivers week 13. All right. Jalen Naylor, I'm not going to talk about. He got a touchdown last week, but that was because Justin Jefferson wasn't getting any targets. Dontavian Wicks has not been a thing for a while, even though 0.51 fantasy points per route run is pretty good. But he's got Storm Duck. Dude, Storm Duck's been amazing this year. I would not want to mess around with that. Jerry Jeudy is who I really want to talk about. 85% routes run right now with Jameson Winston. Oh my God, dude. I thought I had the wide receiver in Tillman. I was wrong. I said to not start Jerry Jeudy because it's Jerry Jeudy, man. And he has been killing it, dude. He's like wide receiver 5 or something over the last like 3 weeks. 0.31 fantasy points per route run. That's like 0.7 right now. It's off the charts. All right. It's off the charts. But he gets Patrick Surtain. So what does Patrick Surtain do to every single number 1 wide receiver? He erases them just like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Eraser. And then, hey, Calvin Austin. People were asking me if they should start Calvin Austin last week. I said no. And then he got that touchdown. And I was like, I felt like an asshole. But hey, Calvin Austin has Cincinnati's only good cornerback. We talk about this every week. This guy is up here every single week in the terrible matchups. They attack on the outside. They do not mess around with the slot wide receivers going against Cincinnati. The offenses don't. So I bet you Calvin Austin doesn't get any targets almost. And again, mostly Calvin Austin could get a long touchdown on the outside. But hey, Mike Hilton for Cincinnati, 0.14 fantasy points per route run. He is doing amazing, man. Same as Patrick Surtain, for God's sakes, dude. And then Christian Watson. Oh, he gets Jalen Ramsey, dude. So I really like Christian Watson, all right? I was trying to trade for him a couple weeks ago. When him and Jordan Love play, they catch touchdowns, man. Long touchdowns. I like it. But this week, against Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey is his whole self, man. He's earning that money this year, that contract money. So yeah, 0.16 fantasy points per route run. He's only running routes, 50% of the time? I don't believe that. All right. That's probably because he's injured half the fucking time. Okay. So when he's in there, he's the number 1 wide receiver. Christian Watson, I would be on my bench this week. And then, hey, dude, JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I talked about how he had a terrible matchup last week, man. Arizona's only good cornerback, one of the best slot cornerbacks in the league he had, and he tore him up. You don't even see him on here because, he allowed a lot of points to him. So, dude, Jackson Smith and Jigba, 85% route run, all in the slot pretty much. 0.4, that number is climbing. But he gets the best slot cornerback in the league pretty much, Michael Carter, for like 2 years in a row. All right, maybe even 3 years. I don't know. I know it was at least last year too. So this is his toughest test, but I would start him. I'd start him again, dude. I'm not going against Jackson Smith and Jigba anymore. So Jerry Jeudy, Austin, Watson, and Jigba. One more, Deebo Samuel. Oh, thank God I traded for Deebo Samuel. I was like, hey, Kareem Hunt, here you go. I'll get Deebo Samuel. Maybe I can start him. Holy shit, dude. I didn't start him this last week. I started DJ Moore over him. Look at that. So yeah, Deebo Samuel, again, he's unstartable until, I don't even know, man. He's a drop candidate on Reddit right now. So who knows? But 70% route run, I believe it, man. When you watch that game, Fool doesn't, he's not involved. He's not involved. 0.35 fantasy points per route run. I'm surprised it's that high, dude. But he gets Buffalo's best cornerback, Christian Binford. And yeah, only 0.16. Deebo Samuel, sit him on your bench. All right, real quick. Pass funnel defenses. Baltimore Ravens, man, they are in order of which defense is most extreme as far as stopping the run, allowing a lot of pass. Going against Philadelphia. All right, so Saquon Barkley has a really tough matchup, but hey, he can still catch a lot of balls. And A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, if they play, Dallas Goedert, if Devonta Smith doesn't play, all should have big games. Minnesota Vikings against Arizona. I'm expecting McBride because tight ends were kind of like the Vikings kryptonite all season long. So McBride should have another huge game. Atlanta Falcons against the Chargers. Lad McConkey. Oh my God. People keep on talking about him. He's going to have a big game again. Cleveland Browns at Denver. So Denver wide receivers, Veal. Like I said, man, Veal is on the menu. Let's go. Even a pass. He gets a pass funnel defense and a great matchup. Holy shit. Houston Texans at Jacksonville. Who gives a shit about Jacksonville, man? You're not starting anybody from there. Chicago against the Lions, man. I'm starting DJ Moore. DJ Moore's been startable. All right. So DJ Moore is a lineup lock. And then Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze, we have to look a little bit deeper into these cornerback matchups for that. And then run funnels below, that is just the inverse of what I just talked about. All right, everybody, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching. If you actually did like this, please give me a thumbs up. That gives me a higher chance, man, to go out to more people, and that's how we get subscribers. Hey, so hopefully I earned that thumbs up. Hopefully I earned a subscription, man. We need subscriptions. If you don't mind, that'd be amazing. So please help us out. Hey, this is Tyler Big Turd Ward. This is the Fantasy Red Zone. We've got some shit coming out soon, and we appreciate you.